Hey, Weeder Man, let's talk about this Husqvarna RZ46i with a Briggs-Strat motor, 592576 carburetor, and I got to put it back on. So you got 3 rods that operate this carburetor. One it's got a thermostat. When it heats up, pushes down and opens the choke. You got another one over here with the throttle, right, to pull it, and then they work together. So you got that rod to put on, which is a pain in the hiney. Then you got to put this one on. Of course, they all got bends and twists, and you got to know what you're doing. Then you got to work this carburetor up into place and get some bolts in it. I got those ready. This one here goes for the on the flywheel is fan, and that will idle it, control it, right? So the carburetor stays in tune with the engine. This is fun. So now I got these connected. You gotta be careful with them. It's got a little plastic device down there where that lever hits it, so you don't want to bend it. So you gotta be real careful. I got it pre-mounted, and then you bring it up into place like this. Let me just get 1 or 2 bolts in. And you got to remember, I've learned real quick, if you don't take that fan off, that flag, and you try to work this, you're going to pay the price. I'll tell you that right now. Because what'll happen is, you don't want to do it. You'll pay the price. What'll happen is you'll snap it. You'll break it off. Have to buy a new one. So I've learned that lesson. Just take it off. Yeah. Then you got a spring on it to pull it back, and yeah, it's interesting. So here I am. So now I got a couple bolts started. The ones on the bottom are hard to get to, but you got to use a socket extension. But you got to get these started. I just used the old gaskets because they were still good, and the old rings were still good, so I checked those out. No reason to go through and pull those off. The intake's pretty good. So, all right, you get these in. I might already pop that throttle back out. Get them in, start it with finger, and then take your tool and tighten them down. And then you got to make sure all the hoses are hooked back up. This one's cracked, so I got to replace it. And just check it over before you do everything. Make sure you got everything in place, and make sure this lever arm, see, it already popped out. That little plastic thing's a pain in the keister, so it popped out on me again just putting it up. So now I got to redo it, and then you got to reconnect your solenoid. Right? So I got some pieces to do on this. It's tricky. It's fun. If you never done this carburetor or played with it, you might want to ask somebody who has some experience with it. That's just my experience with doing it, and I've done it a couple times. It still kicks my butt. All right, Henry, Weeder out, installing a 592567 carburetor, Briggs-Stratton motor. All right, have a good day.